Unfortunately, climate change is proving to be one of the most vital and frightening challenges currently facing humanity. According to NASA, climate change can be described as a change in conditions such as temperature in a region over a long period of time. And although some may argue that climate change is nothing more than a hoax, I think we can all agree that as of right now, Earth is the only sustainable and accessible planet for all of us to currently reside. Therefore, it is of utmost importance that we not only protect but maintain the health of our planet Earth. There are several scholarly journals and articles, as well as well established organizations such as NASA and National Geographic, that have performed and observed several studies linking human interaction to climate change. Climate change is an urgent and global issue that needs to be addressed and further evaluated in order to protect our planet from possible destruction. By first acknowledging and recognizing that climate change is a global and urgent issue, we can then take steps to reduce its catastrophic effects and possibly even reverse climate change altogether in the long run. However, as of right now, climate change is making itself apparent through several factors. There is an abundance of evidence that suggests climate change is making impacts within several regions of the world. One article claims that record-breaking heat waves in Europe and recent bushfires in Australia, accompanied by record-breaking heat followed by frequent hot summers, can all be attributed to climate change. In addition to this, in Sri Lanka, a country in South Asia, significant coastal erosion and associated impacts such as coastal landform changes, economic impacts on land resources, inundation of wetlands, and seawater intrusion into coastal aquifers reported along its northeastern, eastern, and southern coastlines are all due to significant increases in sea level rising. And the sea level rising can be also attributed to climate change as these gigantic glaciers and polar ice caps continue to melt. In addition to this, according to NASA, paleoclimate evidence reveals that current warming is occurring roughly 10 times faster than the average rate of ice age recovery warming. This means that not only is climate change making its impacts very apparent, but it is occurring at an alarming and astonishing rate. However, not only are environmental factors being impacted by climate change, but factors such as our food and water supply and our health are all being affected as well. Various and vital aspects are continuing to experience the effects of climate change. In an article provided by National Geographic, in many regions, flood and water quality problems are likely to become worse because of climate change. Since water is such a vital and valuable resource, we cannot risk damaging its quality any further than we already have within these past few years. Along with this, our food supply depends on weather and climate conditions. As climate change may severely affect agriculture, this could lead to a possible decrease in food availability, which is already a global scale problem that we cannot expand any further. In addition to this, the changing environment is expected to cause more heat stress, an increase in waterborne diseases, poorer air quality, and an increase in diseases transmitted by insects and rodents, which for obvious reasons would all be detrimental to our health. In order to prevent further complications from occurring that may damage our world, more research and studies need to be completed on climate change. Climate change needs to be further researched and evaluated, and in addition, anthropogenic databases need to be created so that human contribution to climate change can be quantified. According to one academic article, while various case studies do exist, there is to date no comprehensive or comparable database quantifying anthropogenic contributions to climate change loss and damage. However, if we were to have these statistics, we could better determine which actions to take that would best help to reduce climate change. And although there are several solutions to reducing climate change, we need to become more precise as every year the Earth is becoming more and more affected by climate change. Overall, there is an abundance of evidence that suggests climate change is impacting several regions of the world. Various and vital aspects of life are experiencing the impacts of climate change, and climate change needs to be further researched and addressed. And in addition to this, anthropogenic databases need to be created so that human interactions human interaction can be quantified with its effects to climate change. Climate change is an urgent global issue that needs to be addressed and further researched so that we could prevent the possible destruction of our planet. National Geographic claims that improvements to energy efficiency and vehicle fuel economy, increases in wind and solar power, biofuels from organic waste, setting a price on carbon, and protecting our forests are all potent ways to reduce carbon dioxide and heat-trapping gases on the planet. And by reducing these greenhouse gases, we can reduce climate change. We have the ability to reduce climate change. However, it is up to you to decide whether or not you want to make the effort